shout out to our VIP guests, Lars Hammer and Arthur Jackman.
Good evening, welcome everyone to ERL Tier 2 and welcome to another round around the Belgium circuit. Of course, we did a race here on Monday for the Iron Tier, and now it's time for these Tier 2 drivers to head out onto the track and, well, we are going to find out what they can do, of course, tonight in Tier 2 around then this Belgium Grand Prix track, Spa-Francorchamps. But well, when he does come out, unless he's already out on the track, we will say pretty sure this is the right Danny to be saying happy birthday to. So happy birthday, Danny Van Rooten. Obviously heard it's your birthday today, so congrats on that. Of course, can he take a birthday, well, victory? Of course, he is one of the favourites to probably go and do so. Of course, in terms of the championship, he is right in the mix in terms of being in the championship fold. Only 15 points shy of the top of the championship. 2 wins this season, same as a nice job. However, obviously, pretty much got the same results, just in the opposite order, besides Austria, where unfortunately only scored 8 points, but did bag himself, I believe, the fastest lap. So, a good result, obviously, he's had all season, but just Austria is the only anomaly. And yeah, happy 18th birthday to Danny Van Rooten, who is about to start then his qualifying lap, and we might as well ride on board with the birthday boy, or man, I suppose he is now. To be fair, I'm not really sure, because he's Dutch, I'm not really sure what the age of drinking laws are in the Netherlands. I presume it's the same as the United Kingdom. Yeah, I presume it is, but of course I could be mistaken in that. Anyway, up through Rouge, and now down the Kemmel Straight towards, I had this corner name the other day, the Lecom chicane, and through the Lecom chicane, then down the hill towards corner with no name, so into corner with no name. Looks very neat and tidy through there, as we now go on board with the, well, Mercedes driver. I believe this is Puan, and through Puan, and then towards then the chicane here, which I'm not really too sure what this corner name is called, but you know, it takes it very neat and tidy, well within the track limits. Car sliding out ever so slightly on the rear. Certainly might have lost a little bit of time there, but only would have been a few thousandths, nothing major. But certainly that's going to be somewhere he'll be focusing on his second run, where he can improve. Anyway, into the bus stop chicane, and Piano Jam does a 43.9 to start today's lap times off, immediately beaten by Oneo Dull. Then here comes then Danny Van Rooten to the line and goes on to provisional pole and moves that benchmark even forward to a 41.0. So we're almost into the 140s then here. Here's Storms, how you prefer to pronounce it, I suppose. Then. And can he, well, I suppose go into the top 10 at the moment? Obviously there are 10 times on the board. Now make it 11 and now make it 12, but that is P7 before getting displaced by I think that was Quit or Kiwi. GNR Kiwi, who went quicker. So who's next? Closer's trying to do a lap, but getting a bit delayed by that AlphaTauri of one of them. Either Strikey or that'd be Oneo Dull, that is, so no point of following that lap anymore. Bit of an impediment there. Anyway, for nice job, your championship leader, of course, currently leading the ERL Tier 2 Championship, or the Scooper Tier Championship, depending how you want to pronounce it or say it, of course. Anyway, into the Legcom chicane. Currently is on a set of medium, so this will be slower than, obviously, what Danny Van Rooten and Oscar's done. So I'm probably expecting a time similar to where Tiny is. Of course, maybe a little bit more competitive. Who knows? Anyway, down the hill, then, and into Pouon, and gets the car turned in very nicely. Then towards, obviously, the corner where Dave had his moment in qualifying. Pretty sure he'll put that past him. But a little bit wide out of that corner, but nonetheless, still a good middle sector. Towards now the bus stop chicane. But before then, that bus stop chicane does have, I think that Blanchimont, then that corner is pretty short. And then into the bus stop chicane. And just a couple of corners to tackle. He decides to come into the pits. That turned it out to be a bit of a pointless lap to spectate on in the end. Let's see if the Mac is going to improve. He does look like he's pushing a fair amount. Is using up his ERS battery back. Of course, could be also just trying to push around to get it back into the pits, which I think is the likeable case. So here is a Silo Dark. I presume that's how you pronounce his name. Have to see what he's got. I don't think I've actually seen Silo Dark race in this league as of yet, so I'm gonna take it he's a new driver to the league. Obviously we've got Leeds. He was here, I'm pretty sure, last week, but out of all the new ones, I think probably Kiwi YouTube is new, unless they've just been inactive, if you know what I mean. And Silo Dark are the two new drivers tonight, making their debuts here then in ERL. Again, might be wrong in terms of when they've been in the league. Maybe they've been in ERL before, because been going a number of seasons now ERL, so there is that possibility, by all means, that they were in ERL before and just now rediscovered that love for the game, I suppose, or whatever. But anyway, here comes Silo Dark to the line. Certainly first time I've seen him do a lap, and you know what, that's not too bad. That's a very competitive lap then there. A 141.2. That is a very, very good lap by the Alfa Romeo driver, who puts himself momentarily P2. Is a little bit out of sequence compared to maybe some of the others. Has gone a little bit later, but nonetheless, it's a good lap. So here's Bouncy using that DRS. Did have, I think that was AlphaTauri who was ahead of him down the straight. Wouldn't have got any benefit from that, I don't think. A little bit wide through the Legcom chicane on the second part of that corner, but nonetheless gets some good exit out of the Legcom chicane. Now towards the sequence of corners with no names, then of course, and down the hill towards Pouon. And that 2020 Mercedes around this corner was absolutely almighty, in fact, in this section of track. Obviously, well, that's sort of like the sort of laps I think we're going to see, certainly from some of the top drivers. Anyway, Bouncy's still pushing on here. Is 15.4 for the middle, so not bad sector in terms of the middle sector. Should be in the mix with the likes of Piers, the Map maybe, I'm thinking, and Strooms, somewhere between them. Anyway, through the final couple of corners now, into the bus stop chicane. And gonna come across the line very, very shortly and does a 44.0, so lost a bit of time maybe in the final sector, but still 15th fastest for now. Who is next? So Vigo obviously did do his first lap time on a set of inters, so currently does have interpole, but of course we're not here for interpole, we're here for obviously actual legitimate qualifying. Now I've never been a big fan of obviously drivers going out on intermediate tyres. I just think it is unrealistic. You wouldn't do it in obviously real life using a set of inters in a dry part of qualifying. You'd only use the inters in a wet part of qualifying or whatever. But nonetheless, he has gone for the intermediates for his first run, but did actually a very competitive lap, a 1:46.4 on that first run, and is going to come across the line now. Of course, does improve massively and moves up into 5th place then here on that new set of obviously soft tyres. Now what can Strikey do? He was another driver to do those inter runs, did a 48.0, so about a second and a half off where Vigo was at, but let's see what Strikey can do, if he can get into the mix or whether or not he'll be further behind. He is actually looking very good lap time here for Strikey, 5 seconds up on his lap. It's a 13.7 for the middle sector, or 1 minute 13.7, and that is competitive overall because, well, some of the top lads have been doing about that sort of time territory in terms of sector splits. Let's see now where Strikey can go. His teammates currently sat 3rd place. Where is Strikey going to go? He's going to move up into 9th place. A very good lap time of a 1:41.9. Still got plenty of time on the board also potentially to get out there and commit to another lap. Now, nice job, I think, has done another lap. He actually just crossed the line a short while ago. I'm not sure if Oneldo's on another lap. It looks like his rear end flashlight is blinking. Same with Leeds. Then here comes Tiny towards the line, and I think Tiny's going to come back in. So I think we're almost entering that period of qualifying where the track is going to go a bit dead, but of course we might have 1 or 2 cars be starting the laps again, but for the top lot probably is going to go a bit quiet and a bit deserted. So here comes Piano Jump crossing the line now to begin a new lap, currently on a 43.9, one of the slowest drivers at the moment out there in terms of the overall qualifying times at the moment. Now it is very, very close though. Currently only a few tenths, well, about a 2 tenths gain here would put him above Iron Kid, currently on a 43.8 for himself. So let's see what he can do. Finding 79 thousandths in the first sector, I should say, which is a run up from La Source all the way up into then Le Coms. So down the hill into corner with no name. Then into Pouon. Flicks the car left, and then heading towards then this fast right-left chicane, which are very much swooping corners. And out of there, then towards the bus stop chicane, 7.5 tenths up. So this is going to be a very nice improvement by the Alfa Romeo driver. Currently 7.5 tenths would see him move up into 16th quite comfortably. But of course, if he can find any more time, he can get himself closer to 15th, and that might help him out on the grid where he will begin today's race. And moves up by 8 tenths of a second, almost going below the 1:43s, not quite though, but nonetheless to give it a good attempt. Now here's Kosa, currently improving by also about 8 tenths here, so he's on a much better lap himself too. This would put him, obviously, back into 16th, but can he find even more in this final sector? And can he maybe go ahead of Piano Jam? The answer to that is yes, goes about a 10th quicker than for now. Of course, these will be the final laps for them. Iron Kid on an out lap though. So, right, let's see where everyone is at. So, Danny Van Rooten is sort of coming towards from Pouon. Silo is then coming into the bus stop chicane. And pretty much the rest of them are all a fair chunk down. So let's go back to Silo and see what he can do for his final run. He's going to begin the final runs then here today in qualifying, and he is just exiting the final corner now to do so and begin that. So he's crossed the line to start this final lap of his qualifying with 1 minute and 23 seconds on the clock roughly. And out of La Source, down the hill towards Ven Rouge, Ven and Radion. Kiwi is out of the qualifying. He will start no higher than P11, up through Rouge and Radion, flicks the car over the crest, opens up the DRS down the Kemmel Straight, sticking to the right hand side interestingly, before gradually coming over to the left and is improving by 40 thousandths of a second as he heads through then Lecom chicane and then down the hill towards corner with no name. Really using most of the track then overall, pushing those limits, you can see, to the absolute maximum here as he heads into Pouon, not leaving any stone unturned, and as he'll then hit then this next chicane, keeps it nice and tidy, doesn't get greedy, and now into the final part of the middle sector, keeps it just within the track limits, but is now a 10th down. So if he's already pushing 100%, he's going to have to push 110% if he wants to find even more time as he heads then towards the bus stop chicane. Can he find about, well, 4 tenths in this final sector of the lap? Or is it going to be only good enough for P2? He's going to round the bus stop chicane now and is going to cross the line to finish his lap overall. It's not good enough to find any more time, unfortunately. Oniodal has invalidated. Now here is Danny Van Rooten, currently 3 tenths improving on his own personal best. So Danny Van Rooten, the man who's turned 18 today, is going to, by the looks of it, claim pole. Goes into the bus stop chicane, takes the final turn, keeps it within the track limits, and now is going to come across the line, improves by 4 tenths of a second to move into the 140.6s. So, can then Nice Job or anyone else find a bit of time? Oscar, he's coming through then Blanchemont, and the Red Bull driver of Leeds doesn't improve, so remains in 6th. Now Oscar does improve, goes up into 4th. Nice Job has invalidated. Tiny moves up into then 6th. Here comes Vigo to the line. Is he going to find any more time out there? Currently 8th. And does improve, moves himself up into P6 for now. Here comes Strikey, goes up by 5 tenths of a second and moves himself into the top 5. Displaces then Nice Job, who was in 5th. So, nonetheless, Strikey will start 5th ahead of Nice Job. But it's Danny Van Rooten, the man who has turned 18 years old today, is going to be on pole position for today's Belgium Grand Prix. So Danny Van Rooten, by 6 tenths of a second, absolutely annihilates the rest of the field from Silo Dark in 2nd, and I believe it's his debut today, at least from what I've seen. Anyway, Oneodal is in 3rd, Oscar is 4th, Strikey is 5th, Nice Job 6th, Vigo in 7th, Tiny 8th, then it's Leeds in 9th, then Porsche 10th. Outside of top 10 we have Kiwi, Eamon, Dots Piers, Storms, Demac, Kosa, Piano Jam, Iron Kid, Valency and St. Power, all starting outside the top 11 for today's main race. And we will now go into what will be a 22-lap race around the Belgium Grand Prix circuit.
Max Verstappen became the youngest winner of a GP at just 18 years and 228 days old when he won the 2016 Spanish GP. Coincidentally, he pushed Sebastian Vettel off the top of that record, who came second place in that same race. Let's hope we see a good effort from McLaren here today. In recent times, they've fallen to somewhat of a midfield team. The last time the constructor won a world championship was in 1998. The record for the most cars in an F1 race was achieved at the 1953 German Grand Prix, 34 cars. The race with the fewest entrants saw only 6 cars line up on the grid. This was the infamous 2005 US Grand Prix, which saw 14 cars pulled out of the race due to tyre safety concerns. 2014 ushered in a new set of regulations that saw us enter the turbo hybrid era of F1 car development. The biggest change being the engines, which were changed from 2.4-litre V8 engines to 1.6-litre turbocharged V6 power units. Along with this came integrated complex digital systems.
So here we go then. Lights are on, and we are now racing in Belgium once again for Tier 2. It's an okay start by Danny, but it looked like actually Silo got the better start off the front row between the two of them. And as we head into turn 1, then Danny manages to stay ahead. Oscar on the charge, and he's going to make up a position on Oniodul into a Rouge. Then as his teammate follows a Strikey, but nice job trying to come at the two Alpha Tauri's heading down the Kemmel Straight. He's certainly in the tow, but it is going to be Oniodul and Strikey going side by side. Oniodul maintains their position ahead of his teammate, but Strikey comes back on the outside into Lecombs and on the exit, and that's going to allow Nice Job the opportunity to go around the outside of Strikey as they head downhill. Nice Job will have the inside line for the next one, but in the end, Nice Job was a little bit drifting out wide and loses the position. Further back then, we've got Vim Porsche and Tiny having a little bit of a ding-dong battle between themselves. Tiny is currently trailing Vigo, and Vim Porsche, then Kiwi, is going side by side with the Red Bull of Leeds. Leeds, though, is going to have to settle down for then 11th, but let's see who gets the better exit. It's going to be Leeds. Leo Leeds is going to go on the attack in that RB19. He's side by side with the Haas driver. He's now almost fully alongside and ahead of the Haas driver into Blanchimont. They're still side by side, neither of them yielding here to each other. So it's going to be who can be better on the brakes into the bus stop chicane. Red Bull looked like he went a bit better on the brakes there and looked like he got the better turning, but on the exit it's going to be Kiwi fighting back then here for what is then 10th place in the race. And right now then Leeds is still not able to get through the Haas driver and make up moves that would get him into the top 10 obviously this evening in scoring those bigger points. So here goes Strikey and Oniodul then is the one facing pressure. Strikey got the outside line this time for the first part of the Lecombs, but it will be then Oniodul with the inside for the second part of the Lecombs down the hill. They're both still side by side as they go into corner with no name. A bit of contact made between the two teammates. That's not obviously ideal between them, but it's still going on, and the more they're battling, this only allows the top 3 in the race just to build a bit of the breathing space of obviously Oscar and Silo, and it sort of also pushes then these drivers out of the DRS. Strikey is now through and past his teammate of then Oniodul down to 5th, and is now going to come under a bit of facing pressure from obviously the Aston Martin of then Vigo. Nothing out front has changed. Right now it is Danny Van Rooten leading the way with about a second in hand over Silo, who is about a second behind at the moment. So lap 2 going on to lap 3 of this race, and Leeds going to be making up a position on Nice Job. Nice Job really losing some positions here. And obviously he is your championship leader, bear that in mind at the moment going into this race. So of course, if he does lose any more positions, there's a real chance that someone else could lead after this race. And if they do, fair enough, but nice job now, looking like he's going to have a bit better straight line pace to try and get back past the Red Bull and make up one of those positions that he's so far lost. Did start about 6th, I believe, today, and he's now down to 5th, not 5th, 8th, sorry. I'm just going to get up the get to the leader and now get up some other information. There we go. So that just helps me understand where everything and everyone is right now, though. This, well, they're all setting good lap times, has to be said. So, leads up into 9th after starting outside top 10. Kosa down at the back here, still some good fighting down in the further region of the field between also St. Power and Storms. Storms having a bit of pressure put onto him by one of the Ferraris. As now Vancey going to go through. Vancey trying to go around the outside, forced off a circuit by his teammate into the gravel, and that's going to cost them potentially both the positioning, because it looks like Piano Jam is going to come at them. Piano Jam trying to make a move around the outside at Blondremont, gets the move done, swoops around the outside, and that's a very nice aggressive overtake by the Alfa Romeo driver, the other Alfa Romeo driver. But it looks like St. Power's got back past actually, as we've just jumped off board, but they're still, by the looks of it, fighting away a little bit. So out front, Oscar currently is in now P2. He's made up position on then Silo. Silo Dark down into 3rd. So Tiny going to make up position on, then Vigo goes down the inside, almost shuts the door on Vigo, but left him enough room. And again having a bit of a wobble on the exit for Tiny. So Tiny takes the position back off Vigo. Vigo still behind the Williams, and the two AlphaTauris, by the looks of it, settle themselves down a little bit, not fighting as heavy on lap 4 as they were obviously on lap 2 or 1. So it looked like them two just simmered down their attacks on each other, and Tiny now breaks away a little bit from the back end of obviously the Aston Martin of Vigo, as a nice job now makes up the move on Vigo. Then Porsche now up into 8th, and that's now the Aston Martin ahead of his teammate of Vigo. So lap 5 of 22 here then, and we're already 1/3 through this race. So the race pace is nothing short of amazing, and they're all going with one another at the moment. So no one has caused a safety car as of yet. However, let's not, put a curse on it. Put the commentator's curse. As we see Strike and Oneodol swapping places again. This time it's Oneodol making up ground on his teammate, and is now ahead of his teammate for what is 4th. Further back, Iron Kid has made up place on then Kosa, and that now sees him into 15th. However, has got quite the gap to make up on the back of the Mac. So currently, the Mac is the next driver up the road for then the Alpine driver of Iron Kid. Iron Kid has about 6 seconds to make up, which is a lot, considering that by the looks of it, Kosa is still going to want to continue his fight for what is right now 15th place in the race. In terms of tyres everyone's on, so majority of the field are on mediums. Then we've got 2 runners going for the softs. Top 4 though are all on the hards, so that then is something to note. But that is our first safety car of the day, and that now was caused by St. Power. By the looks of it, crashed out at just before I think we get to Blondremont, and yeah, that is then first safety car number 1 of the day tonight on lap 6 of this race. So safety car is deployed, and now, well, for the medium runners, this actually is okay timing, I suppose, for them sort of drivers, because obviously, given the fact they're on mediums, they can now stop and go to the hards, or a tyre of their choice. But for the hard runners, if they were to stop, well, I suppose they probably could put on mediums and get them to the end of the race, but it is a very fair distance to go. It's not like it's not a fair distance to go, but safety car probably will be out for at least 2 laps, so 2-3 laps I suspect. So yeah, considering that in mind, I think you probably could see the hard runners go to the mediums now if they wanted to, but it is a very, very long way, as I was saying, to go in this race. So we're now about to find out how many drivers decide to come in. Are we going to see everyone come in, or are we going to see anyone stay out? So pretty much all your leaders are coming in. Who decides to stay out? Of course, Vin Porsche has made his stop already, so he's coming around the final corner now. I'm pretty sure he'll rejoin in the same place as before. Maybe a little bit higher up the order. But looks very, very similar position. Not really gained much out of that through stopping the lap earlier. So, safety car is back in at the end of lap 7. That's a lot of laps for the mediums. I totally agree, Dave. It is a lot of laps. But, to be fair, I don't know. It's a lot of laps, but then maybe you'll get 1 or 2 more safety cars, and maybe they'll go to the softs at the end. I really do not know. But it's a lot of laps also for the hards. But nonetheless, Danny Van Rooten then kicks things back off then at the restart of this race, lap 7 going on to lap 8 with about, well, what is it, 15 laps to go then here already. Very, very nice. Well, one thing I will say about, obviously, Spa, it's a very, very nice, quick, fast and flowing race. Even though it's one of the longest laps on the calendar, but Danny Van Rooten doing absolute perfect job on this restart. Already building himself out a bit of a buffer as they head down the Kemmel Straight, and it isn't going to be under threat, but going further back down the field, we're going to see their nice job making up the position on leads for P7, takes P7 away on the hard tire, of course, on the slightly harder compound, and is now ahead of Leeds, who has done already 2 laps on those mediums, compared to, obviously, some of the others already on 1 lap hold tyres, so that now sees him into 7th. However, I'm sure he'll want to make up more time here. Right now, he is a championship leader, a bit down the order at the moment on everyone else. And Vin Porsche picks up a 3-second penalty. Storms has retired from the race. Is that going to trigger a second safety car? Indeed, it is. And that's then the second safety car of the evening, deployed. And then safety car number 2 then tonight, which, well, shouldn't last too long. Probably be out for a lap or 2, so probably race will get back underway on lap 10 then here, I imagine. And, oh, we're seeing Danny Van Rooten come back in. So, what is this for? Why are we seeing these medium runners who stopped a few laps ago come back in? What is their plan? So their plan is another set of mediums. That is their plan. Fair enough to them, so they obviously had a set saved. And, of course, with it being a second set, is the settings on reduce? I'll have a quick look. Where is it? Simulation settings. So, safety car. Nope. Be rules and flags, won't it? So, safety car, yep, is on reduce, as you can see, in the settings. So, yeah. It is definitely on reduce. But I suppose the trouble is, you can still, I think, get up to 5 safety cars, even on reduced. Like, I'm pretty sure all it means is, for it being on reduced, is not actually how many safety cars you can get, but it's more effectively how or what triggers them, like, or what's likely to trigger them. So, in reduced situation scenario, I'm pretty sure that, you know, what will trigger the safety car is heavy crashes and stuff like that. You won't see safety car be deployed for stupid reasons, such as a front wing on the track. No, I'm pretty sure it's 5 on reduced. I'm not sure, actually. I'm pretty sure it's definitely 5. I've had 5, I'm pretty sure, on reduced before now, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, for me, I'm pretty sure, as I said, it's just literally, you know, that, but still. Yeah, I'm surprised we had no safety car on Monday. Did we have a VSC on Monday? I don't think we did. Monday was really, really clean, wasn't it? It was probably the cleanest race I've ever commentated on, in some regard, in that aspect. I think we might have had one VSC on Monday, but that was it. Weren't much. It was a good race. It was a clean race. Not saying that this isn't clean, obviously it is so far. No real dirty driving or anything. Been one or two maybe barges off the track from two AlphaTauris coming together a little bit, but other than that, it's just wheel-to-wheel racing, hard but fair. Yeah, it's good so far, but 2 safety cars compared to Monday, 0. Shocking. Obviously, safety cars do breed safety cars, so kind of get that saying from the IndyCar Sky Sports Crew. Safety car, yellow, well, cautions breed cautions. So you get 1, then you get 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So this then becomes a game of snakes and ladders, where, you know, do you catch the safety car at the right time, or do you not? Do you obviously decide to pit, or do you stay out? That's what it becomes a game of. Chicken, basically, or snakes and ladders, or whatever you want to call it. And, of course, well, for the likes of probably Danny Van Rooten, Silo, Dark, Vin, Porsche, dare I say, they've probably got enough pace in hand over the rest to do a bold strategy. However, of course, they've still got to make it work. And safety car, once again, back into the pit lane after another few laps of it being out. So, Bernd Mailander getting in the mileage today, missing out of that mileage on Monday. And we are now about to go once again back to racing soon as Oniodul is ready. Nice job. Currently now up into second, so this is a little bit more better for the championship leader in terms of where he's at. And I'm sure he'll be glad to be there in P2. Once again finding himself in the sharp end of the field, but Oniodul gets then the race underway and actually gets a really nice start from the back of Nice Job. Nice Job kind of caught napping a little bit there, and as we cross the line, it's going to be about half a second of a lead. Then it's leads in third, followed by Strikey in fourth. Then we've already got Danny Van Rooten making up a position on Airman for 8th, and that's then sees him pick off 1 car already. But back to the race leader. Is Nice Job going to be close enough? I don't think so, but I tell you who might be close enough is obviously Leeds down this straight. Is he going to be able to close in? It looks like the McLaren got a good straight line speed and in fact started to gain on the AlphaTauri. Right now, Nice Job is in a bit of a Red Bull RB sandwich. As we see then Vigo push then the Mac a little bit wide, but there goes obviously Danny Van Rooten going around the outside of 2 cars, or getting 2 for the price of 1. Is he going to do that here? It looks like he is and has. That is Danny Van Rooten up into 6th then on this new set of mediums. So he's flying along. So lap then 11. Danny Van Rooten on the back of Piers, then here for what is 5th place in this race. He's looking at trying to make up another position. He's already made up about 3 on this opening lap of the safety car restart, and he's looking to make it into 4 if he can sooner rather than later. Gonna have to settle though, behind the Williams just for now of ERL Piers. ERL Piers, though, is going to be a bit defenceless coming out of then the bus stop chicane. And as we get to La Source, it is going to be Danny Van Rooten ahead then of the Williams. Then this allows also opportunity for Silo Dark making up move on to Mac. And also look out now for Vigo. Vigo is going to be hunting down the neck of the Williams and of ERL Piers. Here then we go for Vigo. Can he get the move done down the Camel straight into Lecombs? And he's going to go for it. He's on the inside at Lecombs. He's got the move done as we get to the exit of that chicane. And that's a very sweet move by the Aston Martin driver to take 6th place back in this race then here, and is now ahead of ERL Piers for P6. Leo Leeds has now picked up a penalty. He's the second penalty driver of the day, or second driver with a penalty today. As we see Oscar basically pushing Airman through the corners and almost pushing him out of the race there. Certainly a little bit of contact, but right now Airman, you'd have to say, is a bit of a moving mobile chicane without being too rude to him really here. He's sort of like, for some of these drivers, maybe on the wrong tyre or whatever, and is suffering out there an awful lot compared to the drivers that are, you know, ahead of him right now with, by the looks of it, a lot more pace. Oscar's up into the top 10, so that's another position made up for Mercedes, as Strikey then is losing out then his position to the back of then Danny. As Nice Job's now retaken the lead, or taken the lead, so the championship leader moves back up into first, but for somewhere on that lap, Oneodul must have made a mistake or whatever, but nonetheless Oneodul's got the DRS now and is going to try and take the move back, or the position back into Lecombs, get the move done with the DRS assistance, and is back ahead, obviously, of the McLaren. About 9 laps to go in this race then here. And right now your championship leader sat P2, Oneodul in first. Danny Van Rooten, though, he's flying along and is rapidly gaining on the 2 ahead of him here in third place. Then comes then Leo and Strikey. Vigo is in 6th, followed by then Silo Dark, who's also coming through the field fairly nicely. Then Porsche, and then it's ERL Piers and Oscar behind then. Right now ERL Piers trying to defend as much as he can inside the top 10, inside the top 9, but has a huge moment on the exit there, and that's going to certainly put, obviously, Oscar right into the contention to go around the outside into Blondemont. He should get the move done, and gets it done actually before the corner, so a fairly easy and simple pass in the end, but that pass was pretty much done on the exit there, where obviously we saw ERL Piers have his big snap of oversteer and mistake, almost a mistake that could have probably sent him towards the barriers and ended his race there and then, but thankfully he never did, and he can continue on. So here then is Oneodul under pressure again from Nice Job going to make the position up, but here comes then Danny Van Rooten down the inside. He pulls level with the championship leader and is going to overtake the championship leader, and that is now then Danny Van Rooten up into P1. He started first, is first, and now is leaving second place in his wake. But what a move that was by Danny Van Rooten. Virtually 2 there for the price of 1. That is absolutely phenomenal stuff by the Dutch Mercedes driver. Absolutely incredible to witness. That was literally so much straight line speed he runs. I honestly, you know, I've always seen, no offense, yeah, and this is no offense to Danny at all, I've always seen, or Nice Job, I've always seen Nice Job as probably the better driver out of them, you know, certainly that I've known, if that makes sense, due to the fact, you know, of what I've seen. But Danny Van Rooten, he is just in another league in what he can do. He is literally, you know, like, yeah, incredible in what he's doing out there. What overtake by Danny. That was absolutely incredible. Like, nice job's incredible. And same with Fonny O'Doul. They're absolutely incredible drivers. But what Danny does is absolutely breathtaking. You know, he's like, I don't even know how to, haven't got enough adjectives to really, you know, speak fondly enough of him. You know, brilliant driver, clearly, on this game. Hopefully he keeps it up into F1 2024. It'd be good to see him as competitive on F1 2024 as it is, well, as he is on F1 2023. And F1 2024 isn't that long away now. We're already in, obviously, April, at the start of it, of course. Only, well, less than, 60 days, I presume, to go now to the launch of F1 2024. So, yeah, shortly around the corner, that will, well, pretty much 8 weeks. That will fly by overall. Anyway, down the hill then for Silo Duck into P4. He's also doing a fantastic job, and I'm not sure, is it Silo Duck's debut? Because I'd like to know. I've never seen him race here before, obviously, in ERL. If it is his debut, then I must say he's doing a mega job on debut, you know, considering all things. Strikey also doing a good job, holding up now Vin Porsche. Vin Porsche does have, though, a penalty, which will come into effect at the end of his race. But right now he is fighting with Strikey the AlphaTauri, who is ahead of him. Strikey leaves the door open. Now, is then Vin Porsche going to go for it into the bus stop? Did have probably a little bit of a think about it, but in the end, Strikey a little bit too far ahead to keep, obviously, ahead. It is obviously Silo's debut, like Kiwi, so those are the two debutants then tonight, and yep, good debutants so far. Certainly Silo doing good. Kiwi's not doing too bad either himself. So yeah, look forward to hopefully seeing more of them race in the future with us, because they are doing a fantastic job out there, them two, and that has to be admired. Obviously, it can be difficult when you join a new league, especially when you're racing against people that have maybe raced against each other for at least now the best part of 12 months or even more. And of course, you know, these drivers, Kiwi and Silo, are, well, I don't want to say they're disruptors, but they are new. And therefore, have to find where they fit in, of course, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, let's go through the penalties quickly. We are now entering the final phase of this race. We've had 2 safety cars so far. How do I get up penalties? There we go, that's how we get up penalties. So, penalties. So, pretty much everyone's got a 3 seconds, besides Kosa, who's got 6 seconds. Right now, he would drop back down to 6, so he would drop down to 15th, he would, for Kosa. Then, obviously, Piers right now would just about keep 11th, but obviously, driver ahead of him, you know, well, would, of course, not, well, if he did get past, would have to try and build a 3-second buffer. And for Vin Porsche, right now, he will drop down to 8th, I believe, behind his teammate, but does he have other plans here, as he's right on the back of Fonny O'Doul, and obviously Strikey and Oscar, and there goes then Oscar at least. Here comes then Vin Porsche. Down the inside Vin Porsche goes, gets the move done, Vin Porsche does. Strikey now down to 7th, but that's another position made up for the Aston Martin driver, and could be a crucial position as well for, obviously, Vin Porsche, because he is on those mediums, but does have 3 seconds, so he could build 3 seconds over Strikey. Which I'm sure he'll try to do before the end of this race. Currently got already a second on the drivers then ahead of him. Back to the battle for what right now is third, and Nice Job's doing an absolutely fantastic job as well. Really, really good in the second half of the race. He is doing very nicely defensively against Oni O'Doyle, but the more this race does go on, the more favourable the odds come for Nice Job in terms of finishing where he is right now in P2. And if he can do just that, then of course that would see him, well, probably retain the championship lead going into at least the next race. He is currently your championship leader as things currently stand. But of course there is still a bit of a distance to go. And Oni O'Doyle does have the DRS. Oni O'Doyle's gaining and gaining. But as we get to leg comms, is it going to be Oni O'Doyle ahead? It is going to be Oni O'Doyle ahead. And therefore Oni O'Doyle, Nice Job loses out then. Currently then what was that position to Oni O'Doyle. Oni O'Doyle down to then... or up into second. Nice Job down to third. But nonetheless, still doing a good drive. He is. So, closest battle other than that on the track. Well, we've got a few battles. Got a battle for right now 6th and 7th. Also a battle for 9th and 8th. However, these battles, whilst they are raging on, the drivers ahead in both cases have obviously got time penalties. So if they were to finish where they are, they will drop back a fair bit here, or at least a position or two in the end. So we might as well go back to the battle for second, as this is probably the most meaningful battle then on the track here between Oni O'Doyle and Nice Job. The battle for second, who's going to come out on top? Will it be your championship leader, or will it be Oni O'Doyle, who right now, just going through the standings, he is currently, where is Oni O'Doyle in terms of standings? He's currently 11th, so this would be a big result for the AlphaTauri man. Goes a little bit off the track, but nonetheless that's going to allow Nice Job an even better and greater opportunity to get past. He's already passed even a long distance before the Legcom chicane. In terms of the constructors, just so you know, Mercedes 194, McLaren 140, Williams on 81, Aston Martin 79, and AlphaTauri on 77. Those are your constructors standings. In terms of your drivers standings at the moment, Nice Job on 110, 11-point advantage over Oscar, and it's Danny Van Rooten in third with 15 points trailing the pair. And then we've got Vigo fourth and Tiny fifth. So not a great day for Tiny, but it's not been a great day either, I suppose, for Vigo. And that is Silo out on then debut. Silo has crashed in, well, basically the position by the looks of it, where of course, David crashed, or Dave crashed. And yeah, that is Silo out, and he was having a fantastic debut. Exactly, he was doing so well. He was up in fourth, and now he won't finish this race, sadly. But how many laps are we going to get behind the safety car? It won't be many. So everyone is going to come in, and of course, as everyone does come in, are we going to see anyone stay out? I have my doubts. But will everyone catch the safety car here? Because I'm pretty sure the safety car will end this lap, actually. I'm pretty sure the game will only give us 2 laps of racing. And therefore lap 21 and lap 22. So I'm pretty sure Well, most of the field should catch, but will all the field catch? Evening, Ralphie. Hope you're okay. Obviously, our last winner from China. At least I remembered it, that stat. Weren't tiny. You drilled it into my head to that one. Anyway. So yeah, probably be just one, as Ralphie has said. I don't think we'll get more than one, so who is at threat of not catching? So I would say the drivers that might not catch here are Piano Jam, Tiny, and probably Bouncy, other drivers that will not catch the back of the safety car. Definitely Bouncy, I don't think. He's a long, long way behind. In fact, the others just might, so we're going to have at least probably about 15 of the 16 runners left in this race catch the safety car, because there won't be probably any more laps after this lap where the safety car will go around. So yeah, that's the only driver that will not catch. So it's not too bad, I suppose, albeit for one not being able to do so and get this race restarted properly for themselves. So they're gonna, well, they are basically destined to finish 16th now. There's no way that they finish above 16th, unless obviously some madness happens in these final 2 laps. So, who's going to win this race? Danny Van Rooten, so far, he's been in control qualifying, and so far during this entire Grand Prix, even though he has been further down the field, and this was, well, down in 9th on lap, I think it was about 10 or whatever it was. But Danny Van Rooten has gone, but it looks like Nice Job has actually gone with him. A little bit of a moment for Nice Job coming into the bus stop chicane, and that's going to just allow then Danny Van Rooten to build out a slender lead as they head into La Source. So, where is the pressure then coming from? It looks like the pressure isn't going to be between the top 2, but it looks like Onyedo might be in a bit of trouble. Currently is on the podium, but does have a time penalty to go with it. Oscar is right now in 4th, and he would love to get his hands on that P3 if he can do so, but down the Camel Straight looks like it's pretty even between the Red and between the AlphaTauri and the Mercedes. Nothing really between them two. Obviously everyone will be using up whatever ERS charge they've got left, because there's no need to save it anymore due to the fact we've only got about 2 laps of racing to go, well, 1.5 now, and therefore everything you can squeeze out of the tyres, squeeze out of the remaining fuel that you've got on board, and also that ERS battery is going to be absolutely critical as we head into this final lap of the race. So right now Strikey trying to pester the back of Kiwi, but obviously will anyway automatically pick up these positions, and right now looking a very likeable P5 position for the other AlphaTauri. So whilst one AlphaTauri may lose out, the other AlphaTauri is going to gain here then in the end, so it'll balance itself out in that regards. But into the bus stop, and right now it's still pretty even through there. Everyone just sort of conundrums together. Overall, does Strikey go for it? No, but Vigo is going to go for it. Vigo's put his wheel on the inside. In the end, Strikey did leave him the gap to go there, and as they get to the exit of La Source, it is still Strikey ahead of Vigo. Vigo is still behind, but Vigo is at the moment pedaling in this race and is trying to gain on then the AlphaTauri, but it looks like the Haas driver of the Mac is going to try and gain on him, and as they get to the exit, it's still pretty much everyone as they were before, so no real change there in the order. Out front, though, it is the birthday man who turned 18 today, looking likely, as he's only got half a lap to go, on track for this race win. And, of course, if he does get this race win, well, I suppose before he could only spray Sprites or cans of Coke, whereas today he can up the ante and spray some champagne or, I don't know, what other alcoholic beverages he chooses to do. So he is going to round the final corner into the bus stop chicane. Danny Van Rooten, on his 18th birthday, comes to claim another victory in ERL. Danny Van Rooten claims victory on his 18th birthday, takes the fastest lap, also for good measure. Danny Van Rooten first. Nice job, the championship leader coming home in second. Oscar third. Then fourth is Oniador. Dimac in fifth. Kiwi is in sixth. Vimporsche seventh. Strikey eighth. Vigo is in ninth. Dots is in 10th. ERL Piers is in 11th. And I'll go through the rest of the order very, very shortly. Yeah, champagne's probably the alcoholic beverage of choice for Formula 1 race winners. But then, what's that Belgian beer? That good Belgian beer. There's good Belgian beers actually, as well, that people drink. You probably know the one. But not really a big alcohol fan myself, but you know what I mean anyway. Actually, we probably should stop talking about alcohol before this stream gets moderated. Because, yeah, you know. Anyway, so Danny Van Rooten takes the race win, takes pole, and takes the fastest lap. So that is a hat-trick for then Danny Van Rooten today on his 18th birthday. Then nice job, P2, Oscar P3, Onio Dool P4, Damac in 5th, then Kiwi is in 6th, then Porsche is in 7th, Strikey 8th, then Vigo in 9th. Piers is in 10th, rounding out the top 10. Of course, points are scored for every finishing position. Iron Kid is in then, Iron Kid Airman, is in 11th, and Iron Kid is in 12th. Piano Jam 13th, 14th we have then Tiny, 15th is Kosa, and then the final finisher today is Vancy. Out race we have Silo, unfortunately, then Leeds, then Storms and St. Power. In terms of driver of the day, I think I'm going to give that to, well, just personally, as my commentator driver of the day, I'm going to give that to probably Danny Van Rooten. Overall, perfect weekend for him, or perfect race for him. So, yeah, until the next time, until Monday then for Tier 1, or Iron Tier now, I'll be back then. Obviously, please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until then Monday, have a great day.